Once you hear what I'm about to tell you, something inside you will shift, not because these mistakes are shocking, but because you'll finally recognize patterns you've been living out for years without ever noticing. And from this moment on, you won't be able to unsee them, not in your behavior, not in her reactions, not in the way you show up as a man. These are the 9 mistakes intelligent men make with women, and the Stoic truth behind each one. Stay until the end, and you won't be the same man who started this journey. Let's begin. 1. Explaining yourself too much. Smart men often mistake clarity for confession. They believe honesty requires over-explaining every delay, every thought, every mood. But that isn't clarity. It's insecurity dressed up as transparency. A Stoic man speaks once, not to justify himself, not to soften his presence, not to prove he means well. He speaks because his words carry purpose. A man whose voice has weight doesn't need to repeat it. When you over-explain, you expose a fear beneath the surface. I'm afraid you'll misunderstand me. I need you to see me the right way. I need your approval. But the moment you seek approval, you lose your grounding. You lose certainty. You lose the quiet power that makes you dependable. Approval isn't earned through explanations. It's earned through character. Marcus Aurelius captured this perfectly. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. When your actions are aligned with your values, you don't need long justifications. The truth stands tall on its own. Say what needs to be said once with measured conviction. Walk away from the urge to elaborate. People respect a man who trusts his own words. They listen closely to the man who doesn't crumble under misunderstanding. They follow the man who speaks less and means more. Let your actions prove what your explanations never could. 2. Chasing instead of leading. Chasing is not effort. Chasing is panic disguised as persistence. It's the frantic energy you pour into someone who hasn't taken a single step toward you. Every double text, every anxious call, every moment waiting for reply. They're not signs of commitment. They're signs of fear. There's a difference between pursuit and chasing. Pursuit is calm, strategic, intentional. It's a man moving with direction and purpose. But chasing is chaos and motion, movement mistaken for progress. A Stoic man never moves from fear. He acts from intention. He knows energy is a mirror. What you send out is what returns. If the interest isn't mutual, he steps back respectfully, not with bitterness, not with anger, but with unshakable self-respect. He doesn't twist himself for someone who isn't choosing him. He knows what's meant to grow will grow without force. Chasing distorts reality. It convinces you your worth depends on her attention. It teaches you to settle for breadcrumbs when a feast exists elsewhere. A Stoic man lets things unfold naturally. He invests only where there is balance and reciprocity. Because true connection does not require persuasion. It does not beg. It does not chase. And here's the paradox. The less you chase, the more you're pursued. The less you panic, the more you're valued. The less you bend, the stronger your presence becomes. A man who chases is ruled by desire. A man who pursues with clarity is free. 3. Revealing too much, too soon. Depth pulls people in, but oversharing pushes them away. Many men mistake vulnerability for emotional dumping, sharing every detail about their past, fears, traumas, and dreams within a few days. They think this creates closeness. Instead, it creates pressure, overwhelm, and loss of intrigue. Intimacy isn't built by flooding someone with your entire life story. Intimacy is a balanced exchange, a gradual dance, a rhythm that grows through time, trust, and presence. A Stoic man reveals himself with intention, a piece at a time, a layer at a time, not because he is hiding anything, but because he respects himself enough to protect the deeper parts of who he is. He lets others earn access to the inner chambers of his heart. The less you reveal at once, the more your words matter, the more deliberate your stories, the more weight they carry. Mystery is not manipulation. Mystery is self-respect. It communicates without words. I am whole. I am grounded. I am not here to be emotionally drained. Oversharing gives away your power. Measured revelation commands attention. A Stoic man doesn't seek approval through confession. He reveals what matters, slowly, intentionally, courageously. Depth without pressure is magnetic. Depth with patience is unforgettable. 4. Trying to fix her. Men with good hearts fall into this trap often. They see pain, chaos, or struggle, and their instinct is to rescue, repair, or save. It feels noble. It feels loving. But beneath that urge is often fear. Fear of being irrelevant. Fear of losing her. Fear of feeling powerless. The Stoics were right. Focus only on what you can control. You cannot heal someone who is not ready. You cannot walk a path she has not chosen. You cannot save someone who has not chosen to save herself. Support is not the same as rescue. Listening is not the same as fixing. Being present is not the same as carrying her burdens. When you try to save someone who isn't committed to saving herself, you sacrifice your peace for someone else's chaos. You trade your purpose for an illusion of control. Stoicism teaches detachment, not coldness, not indifference, but the wisdom to know what is and isn't your responsibility. A Stoic man listens with intention, supports without surrender, holds space without losing himself. He remains steady, grounded, and present, but never becomes the architect of her storms. Strength is not measured by how much you carry for others. Strength is measured by how firmly you stand in yourself. And the paradox? The less you try to rescue, the more you earn respect, the more freedom you allow, the more deeply your presence is valued. Saving someone who isn't choosing growth isn't noble. It's self-destruction disguised as devotion. A Stoic man walks his path flawlessly and invites others to walk beside him, not on top of him. 5. Neglecting your purpose. This is a quiet mistake that slowly destroys a man from the inside. You meet someone. There's chemistry, connection, excitement, and without even noticing, your priorities start to shift. Your routine slip. Your discipline weakens. The gym days become rare. Your goals lose momentum. Your mission, the thing that once gave you fire, begins to fade. You start bending your life around her presence, her timing, her energy. But no woman respects a man who abandons his own path, not because she is cruel, but because she senses the loss of direction. She feels when a man's purpose dims. She feels when he begins orbiting around her instead of leading his own life. Respect cannot survive in the absence of purpose. Purpose is your anchor. Without it, you drift. Without it, you become reactive instead of intentional. A Stoic man knows his mission is sacred. He guards it fiercely. He refuses to give up his path for temporary affection or validation, because the man who protects his purpose becomes magnetic, stable, admirable, a force. The irony? The more committed you are to your mission, the more attractive you become, the more grounded you feel, the more deeply your presence is respected. Purpose isn't optional. It's the backbone of your masculinity, the foundation of your influence, the gravity that keeps your life aligned. Lose it and everything crumbles.